This is a recipe for something called Amigdalota. Those are almond cookies which are gluten-free. They only have almond flour, sugar, couple of eggs. Those are the main ingredients. And then some flavoring. Of course, vanilla, some almond extract if you wish. And I love to add also some brandy in mine. We only use the whites of the eggs, of couple of eggs. And I dip them before baking them into sliced almonds like this. It's really easy, it's delicious, and it's so good for you too. It has all the good proteins and very little sugar, as you see. For the recipe, we need 3 cups of flour, and now I'm gonna put together the dried ingredients. So 3 cups of almond flour. And 1 cup of sugar. Mix together. This part is done. Now, the eggs we need to separate. It's best if they are at room temperature. Separate the whites from the yolk. We're only using the whites today. Now we will whip the whites until we achieve a really very stiff meringue. Add a touch of salt in the whites. That will add flavor and will whip it much quicker. Beat the whites until they are stiff enough that when you flip the bowl, they resist gravity and they don't fall off. Now we will be adding the flavors. I'll add a little bit of vanilla, about a teaspoon, half a teaspoon of almond extract, just enough to be very comforting but not overwhelming. So that's almond extract. And then this is brandy, my favorite flavoring. It's about a tablespoon. Mix it in. Now into this egg whites we will add the mixture of the 3 cups of flour with the 1 cup of sugar. And you can add it all in. We don't worry about deflating or anything. That's in this cookie we want it to be chewy, and deflating the whites actually will create that chewiness even more. So we'll mix this. Now we achieved a wet dough that if you take a little bit of it, you can shape it into a small ball, just like that. Okay, now that we have put the dough together, we start taking little pieces, creating those little balls. You can make them as big or as small as you wish. I like them kind of 2 bite sizes. Dip them in the almond and put them in a pan that you have a silpat or parchment paper. And here you can get your kids involved. If you have little kids, they love this part. Those type of cookies, they will need to be baked in a low heat. So it's about 300 to 325 degrees for about 8 to maximum 10 minutes. They're gonna continue to be pale. You don't want them to brown because that's when they lose their chewiness. So if you want your cookies to be chewy, make sure not to overbake them. The next day, they are even more delicious and more chewy. The complete texture, the true texture of those cookies, you can tell the next day. Now we're gonna put the cookies into low temperatured oven, so 300 up to 325 maximum degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes. Here's the Amigdalota. As you see, they are pretty pale, but they are dry to the touch. We want them to be chewy, and that's why we take them out this early. It took about 12 minutes. My oven is not a great in timing, so each oven is different. But make sure that they are dry to the touch, and but they hold themselves, like you can pick them up easily. So they are best the next day. But I'll cut one to show you how it looks from the inside. They should be looking this way, and that's what creates that chewiness. They're good. Warm as well. They're burning me. As they are warm, I'm just creating this now in my head. Wow, how delicious they will be with a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top. Because the chewiness and the warmth is gonna just deliver even a greater experience of ice cream sundae. They are one of my favorites. Enjoy them.